Hello and welcome guys, ArmaganVideos here today with a tutorial, and we're going to recreate the logo of FRANKIEonPCin1080p Let's Player. And let's hop right into Chrome and show you this intro. There you go, it flies in and it blends over different 3D layers of clouds and flares, as you can see here. Oh, whoop. There you go, and it flies also into this kind of faked island. What we're not going to do today is get a overlay of these birds right here, because it's just some overlay of flying birds, so you could also animate them by yourselves. But yeah, let's start with gathering our stuff that we need. So I just went to Google Maps and searched for a city, or more like a beach or something like that, that kind of matches the style of FRANKIEonPC's intro. As you can see here, is kind of a just kind of match the city that you can see in the intro. You could also just use your own how is it called, it's hometown origin. And yeah, I'm going to choose this one right here. You can type in A56 in Italia. So what you're going to do now is basically taking screenshots of this environment right here, and you just want to get the right resolution out of it so you can zoom in pretty good. I think this might be it, because we are going to crop these images and blend them together in Photoshop later on, so that there's no problem. I'm quickly pressing F11 on my keyboard to maximize it. So there we go. Maybe there's also a feature on Google Maps where you can hide all these, how are they called, labels. Also this user interface, but well, I'm just going to delete them out of with Photoshop instead of searching for a solution for this. Then we're going to create a screenshot of this and save it. I'm going to make a new, call it tutorial, and paste it right into this. I made this screenshot with a program named Keyshot, but you could also just press print on your keyboard and then paste it into your Photoshop comp. So this is it for this part. Then I'm going to move a bit to the left. Make another screenshot right there. Save it again. Then go up right here. Make another screenshot. Save it. And we're going to go around here. Another screenshot. And save this too. So let's hop over to Photoshop and import. Oh, that's not the thing I wanted to open. It's not called Keyshot, it's called Lightshot, sorry. Where is the tutorial? There it is. There it is. Okay, just paste it right into Photoshop, then press C and hold down Alt and Shift, so you can have it like match to the you could also just press Alt to make it constrain the proportions. And now you want to import all the other ones, just press Enter. Also turn on the opacity so you can see through them. I'd also extend it a bit more. So now I'm dragging them away. And let's start with screenshot 2. Well, I think screenshot 2 kinda, where did it start? Its beginning is here. We're going to match this up. Yes. Oh, of course. Look, this looks weird right here. I think it's because of the settings of Google Maps that you kind of see this weird abbreviation happening here. But yeah, that's not a problem. So, wrong. Let's give this 100% opacity again. Then again, whoops, a lot. Take this one, set the opacity down again. And we have to match up this part right here. Where is it? I think I just went too far away with this screenshot. I'm going to retake this one. Or do we really need it? Yeah. Need to go to the right, of course. Okay, let's continue with this one then. Okay, that's a bit easier. Still not a great screenshot, man. This is okay, but I need to go more to the right, so let's retake this one. Make it big again, F11. And go around here. Take a screenshot of all this. Save it out. Screenshot 4. Turn on the opacity. All right, so we got this. I think we also need a bit of the water right there. Of course, it looks blurry, and we're going to make this another. Oh, damn. I forgot to press F11. There we go. Just get another screenshot, save it out. Screenshot 5. And now, let's blend this out. Okay, this should be it. Of course, I think we could also add... yeah. Well, let's take another screenshot for this part right here. Also keep in mind that this must be in the picture. F11. Wait until this thing at the thing disappears. Take the screenshot, save it out, close this. Screenshot 6, paste it in. Set down the opacity. Bit too much. Crank it up again. And there we go. Let's create a folder right there. Oh, this also, of course, included. Double click on this layer to unlock it, or you can just click here, but this sometimes doesn't work. So we got our map, not our MAU, our map. And what we have to do now is simply, simply stamp or use the spot healing brush tool so we can get rid of those kind of things here, the user interface. What I'm going to do now is rasterize these layers and give them all a mask, a layer mask, so we can blend that in real quick. Oh, why is it black? Of course. Choose the magic wand tool. Oh damn. Tolerance 5 maybe. Perfect. And get rid of this one right here. So now you create a custom background. Oops. Solid color. Of course, we're going to delete this later, but it's just for the eyes so that you have kind of a good contrast right there. So, it's completely hidden. Let's see how the blends look. Of course, you can see here are some issues also there, but all in all, it kind of looks okay that we can adjust these parts here with blending them together. So let's see. That's it. Grab a dark brush by pressing B and choosing a dark color. Also right click and then make it like 100 pixel big. Click on the layer mask of this layer. Then just go around here. You can see it magically disappears. This looks okay. Also, let's see if we can, yeah, easy as that. Let's also see if we can delete this one. Yeah, there we go. Oops. All right, and how about this one? We activated its away. Perfect. So, alright, we got rid of the major issues in our picture, so let's crop that up. Oh, wait. Crop that up by pressing C and use as much space as you can. There we go, and there. So later on the camera is going to fly in from like here, going right in here and zooms into this one right here. So what I would like to get now is make another screenshot to extend it kind of to this area right here. Keep in mind that this needs to be in the screenshot as a anchor point kind of. Okay, this looks good for our map basically. So let's duplicate it. This is our backup in case we mess up something. And make this a smart object and rasterize it. And what we're going to want to do now is fix this water. And we could also, what I did, is delete all these labels right here. But due to the purpose of the length of our tutorial right here, I'm not going to do this, or maybe I could use and try it with the spot healing brush tool. You could also press S and use the stamp tool. I'm going to use the healing brush tool right here and try to get rid of these things right here. Of course, later on it's all covered with motion blur, so you're not going to see these little issues on the map right there. So it's not a problem. Yeah, this could be a problem, but still. Also, I think I could have deleted this part of the picture right there by using our layer mask techniques again, but yeah, that's why I made this backup layer right there, as you can see now. Just make sure that everything at the near of the coast right here doesn't have any labels, because this is where the motion blur gets turned off and you're gonna want to see the city. So just make sure that you delete all these labels. Well, is there something big again in this near vicinity right here? Yeah. There's also a straight line. And this one gets replaced by water. There we go. This right here. And let's make it a bit smaller. Alright, this looks clean to me. all these labels here in the background are not so important because the camera is going to go right from here, hop right in, zoom in, and just this area is important. So that's why I also have to delete this part. So now let's clean up the water, make this size a bit bigger, straight line down, get rid of all these things right here. Yeah, I knew that this would happen. So what you can do here is press S and use the stamp tool, press Alt to get your selection, and then it's going to calculate from this point of here. As you can see, there's a little cross. It's going to get the pixels from there. So just make it like this. Everything disappears magically thanks to the algorithms of the Adobe developers. All right. Also make sure that you save. PSD, of course. Call it our map. And let's clear the water. Make sure that you don't delete the boats right here, because they give the picture a bit of realism later on. The intro, not picture. Of course, it's moving animated pictures, but you know what I mean. So now this looks kind of weird. Maybe, oh, sorry. Maybe we can rid of it by... Yeah, what we can do now is go to our content aware move tool. Select this path right here and drag it up to see if it matches, but this didn't work. Yeah, because we just have not enough water right here. So what we are going to do now is use the stamp clone tool again, clone stamp tool. Get our point right here and stamp all this out. Okay, this looks okay to me. Of course, there are now some issues. Whoops, get your spot healing brush tool again. Delete the boats right there that got duplicated. What you can also do now to add a bit more realism is go to Google and search for boat top PNG, so you don't have to cut it out. Just for the purpose of the intro. Yeah, of course, didn't work. However, it should be enough. All these little details can be added by you later on, so you don't have to worry. What I'm going to delete also is this right here. Alright, and I think we're going to soften out the water a bit, and we're going to do this by pressing L for our lasso tool. Then just go around here. Very roughly, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then close this up right there. Make sure that your map is selected, then right click and make layer via copy. Call it water. Go to filter. Blur, Gaussian blur, crank that up. It's too much, but of course the water looks smooth because of that. I think 36 pixels are okay. And now set down the opacity a bit. There you go. Just like that. And what you can also do is, because you can see the water here is a bit more green, you can go to color balance, make it the clipping mask of the water and give it a bit more green tone. Right there. Also give it a layer mask and whoops, get a black brush, make it bigger, set down the opacity and make sure that you're on the layer mask, of course. And then just delete some parts out. Oh. Alright, this looks okay to me. So we have finished the ground plate of the intro. As you can see here, of course she has more boats in it, but those details can be added by you. It would just be too time consuming right now on this tutorial. So what we're going to do now is create this island also in Photoshop. And what we're going to do for this is just grab our rectangle tool, make it like this big, give it a sandy kind of color, just to imagine how it looks. Oops, that's not a sand at all. Why the hell does it look so weird now? Ah, I know why. Because it's of course under the color balance. So release the clipping mask. There we go. Okay, this looks a bit like sand. Call it sand. Give it a layer mask. And let's rotate this around a bit. Is it yeah. Rotate it like this. Make it a bit smaller, I think. And now grab a brush again, a round brush. Just select a hard one with hardness on 100% and increase the size to about 60, I think. And make it black and 100% opacity. And kinda make it look rough and sandy. This looks like a cheese. There we go. So what we're going to add now are textures, of course, because this doesn't look like sand at all. Type in sand texture. Try to search for a very detailed one that looks like, yeah, like this. Oh, where is it? Tutorial. Zoom out, press Ctrl and T, hold Shift and Alt to let it hold its or constrain its proportions. So of course sand looks way smaller when seen from the sky. So just hold Alt and duplicate this layer. Make it a group, call it sand, make it a, where is it? Ah, of course. I'm going to blend those in. Perfect. This one. Perfect. There we go. This is our sand. Make it a smart object. A bit larger. And create clipping mask. So there we go, our sandbank. What we can do now is to give it a bit more dunes or stuff is use the dodge and burn tool. Therefore we have to rasterize it, I think, yeah. And kind of make it look like it has dunes. Of course, I think we're also don't even going to see this part right here. So I think we're not doing this later on. Yeah, let's skip this. we're going to now grab our sand layer again, hold Alt while dragging it, so we're duplicating it, and make it a bit smaller to get some randomized action going on here. Flip it horizontally so it doesn't look like just copied. And this will be our trees layer. So again, go on Google, search for trees. Whoops, trees above. Because we are looking from the camera down to this. And this is kind of tricky because there aren't many pictures. So what you could do is get grass from above. Yeah, however, just for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to use this one. Make it way smaller. More. And now comes the duplicate work. Grab all these layers that you just created, make it a group smart object, call it grass, create a clipping mask, and this looks totally weird right here. So what we're going to do to make it, or going to do now to make it a bit more smooth at the edges right here, is also use the clipping mask again. Okay, the textures I use are totally bad for this purpose, but alright, it's okay. I mean, it's a quick tutorial for an intro that actually takes some time. So I think I also made it a bit too small, so drag that up again. And it's the good thing of using clipping masks and layer masks. They stay there instead of using just the eraser tool, or they are customizable. So what we're going to do now is click on the sand layer and give it a drop shadow. Untick the use global light, make the distance to 0, and crank up the spread and size. So I think the size is the thing that we're going to look for. Now change the color to white. And set down the opacity. So because the sand is slowly building up and it looks more realistic. You can also change it to overlay. Yeah, it looks better, of course. Or no, I go for this look. Alright, our weird island is almost finished. Of course, I don't like this texture right here. I don't know, maybe I can find something better later on. Alright, so let's make this a whole group and call it island. So move it a bit more, I think. And now we need our font work. It's Freshman. I'm going to choose my name. there. Make sure that the make sure that it doesn't is bigger than the whole name itself. There we go. Group that up, call it text. Also move that right to this one. Make it bigger. And now we need to give it another texture. Basically, just get a grunge texture now. I think something like this is okay. No, it's not okay. Wait, this and this, we could combine them. Paste all this in. Then make this a clipping mask. Oops, try to give it a right proportions. Also this one, I like these damaged effects right here. So what we're going to do is, of course, first make it a clipping mask, and then let's see if we can come up with a cool effect just due to adjusting the blending modes. No, I think not today. Maybe if we set down the opacity. This looks okay. Yeah, maybe shrink that down a bit more. All right, now also a adjustment for our brightness and contrast. Bit too much, turn on the opacity. All right, again, group that up so we can give it, double click on the layer so we can give it a drop shadow so it looks more realistic. Turn off use global light, set down the distance, and adjust the size so it kind of looks like it's laying right on the ground right there. Turn on the opacity, crank up the size a bit more. So I just found another texture. Maybe we can add something a bit more interesting to it. Yeah, there we go. Finally, a good texture. All right, this should be okay. All right, so now we're going to save this one. Map PSD. Oh, that sound was loud. Yes, of course. And finally, open up After Effects. So let's create a new comp. 1920 by 1080. 50 seconds, 30 FPS should be okay. Import our map. I just double clicked in here as a merge layer, of course. Pull it down right here, and there you go. Shrink down the size a bit, create a new camera. So there we go. Make our map a 3D layer. And what we're going to animate now is our point of interest of the camera and our position. So create 2 keyframes. As you can see, this is how it is animated right here. Okay, so our final position. Let's make this to final quality. As you can see, it's way too blurred right here. Why is this affecting? Ah, okay. So this is going to be our end position, I think. Maybe a bit more to the side right here. All right, so bring these around to about here. Now zoom out a bit more and go to our start position. This is going to be somewhere around here. And if we look at this right now, it's going to be right here. But I wanted to make it, to move it like a bow. So what I'm going to do here is create another set of keyframes while being around here. Let's check this out. Yeah. Let's render this real quick. Whoops. Drag this to limit the render. Of course, this is way too slow. And I think we can also adjust this position, bring it far more back so we can have more motion blur later on. So it jumps right into here. Oops, made a mistake with the keyframes. Alright, let's render this again and check this out. It's way too much to the right at this keyframe. This is why it looks weird. Oops, not the position. As you can see, there's some clipping happening here, or not clipping, like this black little thing right there, but we can adjust this later on. Okay, so now select all the keyframes, press F9 to make them... Oh, yeah, this doesn't work because I'm recording, so keyframe assistant ease them so they look more fluid. Now I'm going to get rid of this right there, yeah. Also bring them way more together, especially this one right here, because I wanted to start fast at first and then go slow at the end. So let's quickly render this out. Yeah, still some weird action going on here. Oh, that's way too fast. So to make it move in the end a bit, I'm going to give it a bit more zoom right here, so it's still moving. Well, hell, this camera movement looks weird. Why is this shaking right here? Yeah, it's all just kind of a thing of precision and detail that you're going to put in. I think this one works better. Well, but alright, that's enough for our camera movement. I'm going to adjust this later on. And what we're going to add now is kind of smoke and clouds. So I'm going to import these layers real quick. Alright, there we go. I'm going to provide these links to these layers or also my own stock footages in the description. So I just basically went to Google and searched for cloud.png or this time a smoke effect, and yeah, let's check if this looks realistic real quick. Oh, that looks awesome right there. Damn. Okay, I want a big cloud right here. Make it a 3D layer, of course. And try to affect the position. And since all the layers right now are 3D, when the camera is moving, they're going to look really realistic. And yeah, that's the cool thing about this tutorial. I'm working with 3D layers. Of course, these clouds are kind of looking too strong. I want the camera to fly through them. So this will be okay, I think. Let's check the movement. There we go. I also want the camera to move a bit. Not the camera, I mean the clouds. So let's go back to the position, animate it, and it's going to animate from there. Oops. Right to there because of our wind that's imaginally, is this even a word, happening right here. So also try to animate the rotation. I think it's the X rotation. No, it's not. This isn't also, it's the Z rotation. So animate it right here. Go to there. Give it a bit more variation. There we go. And let's check this render out. There we go, looks a bit unrealistic because of the animations, and also mainly because of the animation of the camera. It looks weird. As you can see, it's kind of doing this strong weird animation right there. Also, I think the clouds are moving way too fast, so bring them back. And we need some more clouds over this city, so get our next cloud layer in. Right there. Look, these clouds now look weird, so I'm going to delete them again and just duplicate these clouds. Get the position and let them start from here. There, also affect the opacity a bit more and bring down the scale. So, should also get, by pressing U, you can get all the keyframes on this layer shown, but I don't want to animate the position. I want them to stay right there because they are going to be out of the frame when I'm here. But what I'm going to do is change the rotation so there's kind of some variation in it. Also get rid of these ones. And now let's fix the camera movement, of course, because this looks way too weird. What is if I'm going to delete this? No, there's not this bow that I want. All right, let's check this out. These clouds are way too big right there. Let's just grab them, copy them, and move them a bit more to other sides right here. Get the rotation. Maybe another copy. Oops. All right. This should be okay. Yeah, we are getting the effect slowly but effective. So of course these clouds look way too strong, I think. Also need to give them a tint. This one especially. Map the white to a bit more bluish. Alright. Then give this cloud the tint and this one too. There we go. Looks okay. Not the best result right there. I'm also going to think I'm removing the tint. It looks weird. But just in case you didn't know that you can tint layers. So what I'm going to add now is also the smoke layer that I had right here. And toggle switches, bring it to add, I think. Nah, lighten, no. Screen, there we go. So to have a bit more smoke over the city. When it's here, also make it a 3D layer, of course. Then press P for position. Position it right above the city. Switch the rotation. There, and copy it. Press P and bring it down. Here. Then a bit more to the left. So how does this feel? Yeah, now I'm going to get another smoke layer. Press P. Oops. And bring it down to here. Switch the opacity down to around 20. Press R and animate the rotation. Yeah. This is just to make it look more realistic, and also let's pull down the smoke transparency because it's too much. There we go. So if you animate this now, it should look real cool. There we go, it looks cool. I'm going to change the camera animation later on a bit. Yeah, but this looks cool, man. Yeah, we're kind of getting the effect. Very slowly, but yeah, you're going to learn a lot of this tutorial. So what I want to do now is, of course, you may have seen that there is, these lens flare effect going on right here. I'm going to achieve this one by using optical flares. And of course I'm going to put over a adjustment layer because this whole scene looks a bit plain. So make a new adjustment layer, call this brightness and contrast adjustment. Then search for brightness and contrast, put it right in there. Then search for brightness and contrast, put it right in there. And there we go. Maybe a bit too strong on the contrast. It's okay. So let's create a new solid, call it optical flares. A must-have plugin from videocopilot.net. Options, and get a cool sunny looking natural flares. Need something that looks like the sun. Far sun, maybe this one. Looks a bit too bright though. So let's adjust it, set it to screen. We're not going to make this a 3D layer. Source type 3D. Alright, there we go. I knew that this would work. So as you can see right here, this is way too bright. So what I basically did is just try to find where the 3D layer, the 3D light is in space. So, oops, what did I do again? This is kind of hard to adjust right here. But let's quickly see if this works. Yeah, it actually. Why does it look so weird? Let's check that out. It's because here it's, yeah, sorry. Delete the keyframe, bring it back to, oops, like 200, maybe 500. Too much. 350 will be perfect. Yep. Let's run this out real quick. So now the sun is placed right around here. That looks weird. So let's move this back. But as you can see, the flares are working right now, and matching right to when the camera is moving, so perfect. There you go, but what we have to do now is get our flare and bring it a bit more to the left. There you go. What I also don't like is that this flare looks kind of way too sharp, so I'm going to put a Gaussian blur on it. There we go, this should work. So we got our sun right there. Also, let's make it a bit more to the left. Too much. This will be okay. Alright. What I don't like is that when we're right here, there's not more left of the sun. Why is that? I think I need to bring it down way more. Let's check that out. Yeah, that's okay. So if I could now just bring it way more to the left. Check if this, it's gone again. What the hell? Yeah, it's a bit tricky, but the hard work will pay off in the end. There you go, this should work now. Yeah, so don't forget to save, and to give it a bit more of a nice look, I'm going to make another adjustment layer with red giants, color suit, and looks. So bring that right in, zoom out and search for a specific style that kind of fits your imagination of how that intro should look. This looks good to me. Maybe there's something better. Keep in mind it's called glamour. No, I think glamour is okay. So it's obviously way too strong though, so bring it down to around 50. And let's check how this looks. Yeah, due to all these effects that are applied now, it takes a bit more time to render, but it'll look great. Yeah, this looks awesome, man. Just need to make sure that the zoom of the camera is going to be a bit more deep in there. So also don't go in too wide. So this should work now. Also, what I do recommend is using, so first of all, let me explain. To use motion blur in After Effects, the layers have to, they actually have to move, so that Adobe After Effects can calculate the motion blur based on its speed or velocity. But what the problem here is that we're having a animated camera and not a animated image itself. So sometimes it works, or not sometimes, in case if the layer is moving, motion blur works, and you can change it by going to composition settings, advanced, and changing the shutter angle and shutter phase, also the sample limit that's going to affect it. And yeah, I'm just going to use a plugin to force motion blur, and this is a bit of calculate intensive, I'd say, but still looks better for me than just using the inbuilt motion blur of After Effects. So it's also from Revision. Maybe you all know it's plugin Twixtor for slowing down clips, but we are using Real Smart Motion Blur. And let's check how this will look. As you can see, there is motion blur going on now. And this basically completes the effect of the FRANKIEonPCin1080p intro. So you can get your own city in there, pull in your name, this kind of cool intro. So I'm going to fast forward it so you can see the result. There you go, guys. Our intro is finished, and you could also add now a dirty screen overlay over it. You can adjust the smoothness of the camera. Of course, I don't have the time right now in this tutorial to make it really smooth. Also, the island was made pretty bad, or the textures were chosen very fast. So yeah, put it in some more time and you are going to have a great result. You learned a lot. You can now work with 3D layers within After Effects. You can import Photoshop files and work with them. You can animate a 3D camera, and yeah, basically you've got learned how to make a very nice intro. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next time, leave me a like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more. Also leave suggestions in the box below, and have a nice day. ArmaganVideos.